Hi, my name's Taz. Nice to meet you. So today let's talk about abusive relationships. There we go, I said it. Ooh, something that's so under discussed it's not even funny. It's just a very isolated topic all the way over by itself. You know, nobody wants to look at it, nobody wants to admit that it happens, yada yada yada. Either way, if you're watching this, you're probably in one right now or you've been in one before. So I would like to talk about today. A lot of people ask me how I got through my abusive relationship, but more importantly, how I got out of it and how I stayed out of it.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
So there's a number of different points that I could discuss, but I'd just like to touch on the topic briefly. So I've come up with a list of probably about 5 or 6 different things of key factors and key procedures that I took that really were the groundwork that I probably would not be out of my abusive relationship if it weren't for sticking to these methods that I used. So after you ask yourself those questions, and like I said, it'll be different for everyone, what do you want? Because if you're looking up this video, chances are you don't want what you have right now. You do want something different. So allow yourself to ask yourself the question and come up with a real honest to yourself of what you'd like your life to look like. Ooh, ponder. And so that's really what set me on my mission of linking your heart and your mind together for really the better good. Okay, so after we questioned ourselves, number 2. Make a decision. Now that's usually a pretty easy part because we're usually already at that decision already. The problem is taking the action after the decision and following through with it. So here's some steps that I took after I made the decision. And don't get me wrong, it was not easy. It was not like, oh, I made the decision once and boom, that's it. There Tasha goes. She's single and she just stays single. No, it was like a process of 3 years, on and off, on and off, on and off. And it got to the point where like I wouldn't even tell my family or friends that I was back with him. And it was just like, I knew it was stupid in my head. I wanted to stop it, but I couldn't, and I didn't understand why. So the successful combination that I finally figured out after much trial and error, after much trial and error would be, one friend, one family member, somebody that you can call up and be like, look, I need a place to stay for a month, however long. I just need to get back on my feet again, and I need to get away from this guy. And if your friend doesn't know the situation that they're in, friend or family, tell them. Tell them what the situation is, and that gives you one more person to hold yourself accountable to after you make that decision of I'm leaving. So once you find a place that you can isolate yourself to, you don't have that conversation. Don't have that breakup conversation where it's like, this is it, I'm done, I can't handle this anymore, because we all know how it turns out. It turns out in a fight or nearly dying because he's not ready to let you go. Just pick a time that you're not going to have to see him, or that he's out of the house, or if you live together or you don't, just, you know what I mean, just that's it. Your last conversation that you've had after you made the decision, that's it. You don't need to tell him what your plans are or what you're doing, because that conversation is not going to benefit either of you. Change your phone number. I know it sucks. I loved my phone number. It was like 219-8388. It was a super cool phone number, but I was like, you know what? There's other good phone numbers out there too. I can get another good phone number. I'm changing my number, and you just need to cut off all possible contact. Delete your Facebook or block him on Facebook, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Any means of communication, delete it all. And this also helps you hold accountable in your weak moments where you're not just going to be like, oh, I'm going to call him, because that's kind of what happens when we go through our lonely stages. At least this time you have, no, I have a different number. If I call him this time and I'm weak this time, I have to change my number again. So change your number. You're not strong enough not to do this. Don't think that you could be like, oh, I'll just ignore his phone calls and I'll just read his text messages and won't answer back. No, it never happens like that. You think, oh, I'll just answer this one phone call because I'm bored tonight. I'll just see what he has to say. I'll be curious. It'll be nice to hear an apology. No, it always always ends up with him just using his manipulation techniques, and you go back with him. Change your phone number. Do everything you can to make it so that you're going to stick to your decision, and it's not going to be easy for you to change it. You have things and people that you're accountable to now, and most importantly, you're accountable to yourself. Stay strong. And this is the hard part, because it's hard to be alone after you've been in a relationship, and so you're not only going through the initial breakup stage, you're getting out of a traumatic situation, so you're going through, like, a little bit of post-traumatic stress, whatever it is, however bad your situation is. Stay strong, become a strong woman, know that you can do this and you deserve this. What helped me, a lot of self-meditation. In self-hypnosis, I actually found some really amazing sleeping techniques, and I guess you could say almost brainwashing techniques, but I was like, whatever, if this is what's going to take to tell my mind and myself that I'm better than this and I deserve better than this, and then I have control over my emotions. So I looked up self-meditation techniques or self-hypnosis. Just self-empowerment, basically. Look it up. There's tons of stuff online. There's videos, there's things you can read, there's like support groups, whatever it is you got to do that makes you feel good. I know with me, songs, music was a major thing that helped me out of this. Just stupid songs like "You'll Never See Me Again," or like, I think it's like Nelly Furtado, "You don't mean nothing at all to me." Anything that just made you feel like, I'm cold, I don't care, you're in the past, I'm already over this. Even if you're not, you're telling yourself that you are. I'm done with you, I'm already in the future, you mean nothing at all, or whatever it is you gotta tell yourself. Write it down. Write down your goals, your rules, write down your wins every day, every hour, if it's that hard that you go without talking to him, or before you've changed your phone number and he called and you didn't answer. Write that down. Today I am happy because I'm one step closer to happiness because I did not answer that son of a bitch's fucking phone call that doesn't deserve me anyway, and blah 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 blah. Whatever you need to do. And then the last step is get to know yourself. Don't think that getting in another relationship right away is going to solve the problem and keep your mind off of it. This actually works as like a backfiring technique, because if you get in a relationship too quick, it's not going to work out usually, and that just kind of catapults you into, once that relationship's done, you're even more vulnerable and you just bolt right back to that abusive relationship, because he's always going to take you back. So work on yourself, want to know yourself. Stay single. Learn to love who you are single, and know that you can become that person that you want to be without somebody by your side. So for me, I got a goal. I wanted to go traveling, and that's really what helped me realize I can never travel if I'm in a controlling abusive relationship. Even if I wanted to maybe bring him with me, it wouldn't work. We'd be fighting every day, it'd be embarrassing, you know what I mean? I really wanted to get to know myself and just become that independent woman that travels all around the world or whatever. So find that whether it be maybe you want to get into kickboxing, or maybe you want to get a new job, or maybe you want to get into yoga, or get a dog. A dog would be a really good idea. I would totally recommend a dog. Yeah, get a goal, something for you to keep your mind busy and work for you, something that really empowers you, and you just can focus on that. And that's just one more reason. No, I'm not going to go back to this, because I really, really, really want to do this for myself. And yeah, that's about all the tips I have for on that. Feel free to check out my link if you want to read more of my story. And if you have any questions, comments, or shares, I'd love to hear from them. Or I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear about them. I would commerce. I would like to commerce. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?